Welcome, fellow fans of Clash Royale. Thank you guys so much for stopping by Galadon Gaming, where today I share with you the best tournament deck I've ever played, at least personally for me. I am having more success winning battles in tournaments with this deck setup than I've ever had. Now I'll go ahead and pop the deck up on the right hand side here so you can see it in its entirety, but I don't know what it is. Now, of course, I'm learning with this deck, and these battles were some of the first battles I ever ran using it, so I don't know if I want to be starting off with the furnace immediately or using it later in the battle. But so far, the support from the furnace has been amazing, and just so much splash damage between that, the princess, the poison spell, the zap spell, that I'm able to control almost any push from my opponent. And in the meantime, using the miner, getting to the tower, and occasionally using that miner to distract the tower and get big amounts of damage in there in a very short period of time. Now, if you guys have seen some of my recent videos, you know that I use the hog-based decks, usually the one they call trifecta. I like to call it hog smoke, the hog rider deck with the poison spell. So it was tough for me to change away from that and to try something completely new. Miner decks I really haven't been able to get a hold of yet, to get a hang of, I should say. But right here, check out the poison value. The three musketeers, the barbarians, 6 of the barbarians, all working their way through that poison spell. Now the musketeers do get some damage off, but not a lot. The zap spell almost too late to stop anything. Everybody had fallen already, just turning the corner with that poison spell, and the furnace doing a great job as a defensive building is going to draw in the units like the hog rider, like the royal giant, like a balloon. And I don't have the cannon, which has been my big crutch for defending against those type of decks. And the furnace working in concert with the princess, doing a great job at controlling small groups of units that are headed across the bridge. And right here, beautiful poison spell grabs the princess and the tower and the elixir collector all together. And again, splash damage from those fire spirits and the princess getting a lot of value right here. 3 musketeers moving in. This could have been absolutely disastrous, but somehow the minions, the guards, and the zap spell get the job done, and of course with a little help from my fire spirit friends. So time to send in a miner back there, and you'll notice we've got 6 barbarians over there. Again, check out the huge value from the poison spell. That's like 8 barbarians right there, plus the goblins, plus whatever else was in there, plus the tower damage. Everybody goes down, and I get the lead late in this battle, 1-0, and it's just a matter of holding him off and getting this battle over with in 15 seconds. Here comes a frustration rocket. The frustration rocket takes out the furnace, does some damage on the tower, but it is all over. All those barbs moving in, not going to get there once again. The poison spell doing a great job. So much value against spawner decks is the poison spell. Probably right now my favorite card in the game. So we will move on to another battle in the same tournament, and this will be the 3rd or 4th in a row where I've switched over to this deck. Now, I did this mid-tournament. The first 3 battles I believe I did, I used the Hog Cycle Poison deck, and I lost 3 in a row. Extremely frustrated. I realized I had nothing to lose. Obviously, I'm not trying to win these tournaments necessarily, as I would like to finish well in them at least and get some cards just for fun. So I switched up to this new deck after having lost about 3 battles in a row, and suddenly I find myself closing in on the leaders. I am somewhere between 10th and 20th place in this 200 or 250 player tournament. And again, the furnace doing a great job of just chipping away. Watch it get 1 fire spirit in at a time onto that tower, and just going to add up over time. The poison spell here, I normally don't advise doing that. I'm not sure what got into me there. I guess it was really the cards in my hand. I didn't want to deploy anything else. Was hoping he might send something else in with the Valkyrie. Didn't happen, but the poison spell again gets that tower down to about 1800. The Valkyrie goes down with help from the guards and again the fire spirits. This time my opponent has fire spirits, and there goes the miner, hoping I could get the minions in, and sure enough, even with the zap spell, they get in there, and that is major damage. That is what we're talking about. There goes the tower just from those badly damaged minions. So glad that they don't fall to a zap spell, and that was all I needed to get the 1-0 lead with about 1:20 left. So again, just primarily shifting into defense mode right here. I'm going to let that furnace drizzle those fire spirits down the left-hand side and make sure that he can't get either one of these towers down. Now you'll notice my opponent has switched over to a right lane assault. He sent the mini P.E.K.K.A down there. So we're going to have to try to move things around a little bit here. Maybe the next furnace comes down over there. We lost that one. We lost the princess to the fireball as well. The mini P.E.K.K.A controlled fire spirit, princess, and the miner. So trying a similar strategy to what you saw me using, the miner in there to distract. But this time my mini P.E.K.K.A gets in there, and now you can see I've shifted the furnace one space over. So now the furnace coming down the right hand side instead of the left, and that just one tile difference is going to help protect that right lane tower. And as you can see, it is the one that's going to need the help in the last 30 seconds or so. So I have to tell you, probably 3 of my favorite cards now are cards that I feel like I didn't use that much until recently. The furnace, the guards, and of course the poison spell. Like I said, loving these cards. And again, facing the minor assault here, I've got to try to stop that mini P.E.K.K.A. It's on its way in. The zap spell helps keep the minions up, and the minions in turn take out the mini P.E.K.K.A just before the tower goes down. 360 left on the tower, and time runs out. Another W for Galadon with this brand new deck. And then drink more vodka. No, I'm not telling you to. That's the name of the opponent. And the reason this is significant is because this guy was #1 in the tournament at the time. Right before I went in to search for this battle, I just took a quick look at the leaderboard. I saw I was about number 10, and I saw this guy was #1, and he was not in a battle. So I thought to myself, well, maybe there's a chance that I'll get matched with him. And he was something like 20 or 30 trophies ahead of the second place player at the time. So my heart kind of sunk when I saw that I was matched up with Drink More Vodka. As you can see, he's got the 3 musketeers. Great job with the poison spell and the zap spell there, taking out 2 of the 3. The third one going to get controlled by the guards. And check it out, left tower. Yes, feeling good right now. So much damage. It didn't get the tower down, but I pretty much almost guaranteed myself that that tower is going to fall during this battle. It's just a matter of, can I protect my own left tower from his assault? And I have to tell you right here, just the psychological advantage of being the #1 player facing me. I just knew that I was probably going to lose, and when I took this tower, it was such a huge burst of confidence. I was so excited. I'm like, I can't believe I'm ahead. This is crazy. I can actually win this. And I realized this guy probably wasn't the eventual winner of this tournament. But nonetheless, with several people watching every battle I ever do in any tournament, I wanted to try to take this guy down if I could. And so now here, he's got the P.E.K.K.A, and again, like we saw in the last battle, my opponent switching to the right lane, and again, like we saw in the last battle, another bad poison spell. I'm sorry, that was worse. At least another unit would have seen some significant damage, but a P.E.K.K.A? There's no way. Knowing that the 3 Musketeers card was already in play, which I obviously did, why would I waste a poison spell right there? I have no idea. That was just, I'm sorry, that was bad play. I have no excuses right there, and I deserve to lose this tower, which I do, and now it is tied 1-1. If you're facing 3 Musketeers, you've got to save those critical counter cards. If you've got Fireball Zap, you've got to save it. If you've got Poison Spell, Lightning, you've got to save that card. No matter what else happens on the battlefield, you know that the 3 Muskies are coming in again, and having used that Poison Spell, of course, Drink More Vodka is going to deploy those 3 Musketeers as soon as he saw me expend that card, knowing that I wouldn't have it ready to counter them. And a good Clash Royale player is much like a good poker player. You're not just playing your cards, you're playing your opponent's cards. You've got to know what is in their rotation, and even more advanced players will know exactly where that card is in the rotation, and if it's not available. Once again, the 3 Musketeers move in. This time the Poison Spell is ready. We are able to control those guys and protect that left tower. We're well into overtime now, and really, I'm trying to chip away. I realize that this guy's not going to let me put together a solid assault again, like I did on that left tower. So you can see the furnace went down angled to the left, because yes, I fear the 3 Musketeers. The Fire Spirits there did a great job of some major damage, the poison on the right side, the rage spell on the left, almost a disaster. The guards really saved me right there, requiring 6 impacts to take those guards down. That was such a huge card to have. The miner, I don't know. I have no idea why that miner popped up right there. That might have been a misclick. In any case, 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in overtime. And at this point, I've gone from hoping to win this to hoping not to lose this. Now, I realize that draws are really rare in these type of battles just because the overtime is so lengthy that usually the opponent, one opponent or the other, is going to get that opportunity to get in and take down the tower. Again, he's got the carbon copy of the earlier assault. The mini P.E.K.K.A. and the single musketeer down the left, getting more damage on my tower. The P.E.K.K.A. and the other 2 musketeers down the right, but I do manage to counter it once again, and we're now down to less than 1:40 left in this battle. And to be completely honest, I don't really have high hopes for the outcome of this battle. I realize that it's only going to take one mistake from one of these pushes because he's just running the same push over and over again. P.E.K.K.A., 3 musketeers, mini P.E.K.K.A. rage. Here he goes once again, and it's just a matter of me slipping up just one time and getting that mini P.E.K.K.A. in and the musketeer down the left-hand lane. But every single time I'm countering just about the same. Luckily, the furnace is there to stop that musketeer. It gets a couple of shots in. It's so close, but it doesn't get the tower down. A minute left and 2 more musket balls from a musketeer, and this thing is all over. So I try to get in there with the miner this time and at least put some pressure on his right lane tower and force him to change things up. And it worked, but only temporarily. Here comes the nearly full health P.E.K.K.A. down the right tower. Here come the stinking 3 musketeers one more time. I drop the poison. The left musketeer gets out of the poison. There's the rage. There's the mini P.E.K.K.A. to counter that musketeer. He did not have the elixir to drop his own mini P.E.K.K.A. And that right there made all the difference in the world. 30 seconds left. We've got to stop the last push. Fire spirits on the furnace. Mini P.E.K.K.A. headed for the furnace as well. Go minions, just getting that mini P.E.K.K.A. out of the way. He is forced to use the rage spell on the defense. So at that point, I knew that I was okay. He had seen too much pressure down that right side, and now he is trying to prevent the loss, dropping the defensive elixir collector. Time is going to run out, and it's a draw and a crazy, crazy battle. He ended up losing so many spots. I think he went from 1st to about 8th simply because he wasted 6 minutes of that tournament trying to beat me, and in the end, trying to not lose. Thank you guys so much. This is still my favorite tournament deck, helping me out. I hope it helps you guys out. Let me know if you've got another super secret, super amazing tournament deck, and maybe I will share it with the world in a future video. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you back here again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Galadon, you and me, 1v1 in a tournament. Just 2 people. Mano e Gallo.